Hey everybody, and welcome to Cultivation with yours truly. My name is Cassidy McClure, and I am a psychic medium based out of Colorado. And today I'm going to bring you a slightly bouncy, because I am set up on my bed today, video of basically just a January recap. I want to do these kind of monthly recaps at the end of every month just to kind of go over the astrological events for the past month that we just went through, a little bit of a recap on the energetics that I've personally been seeing in my own life and the lives of people that I know, and just kind of going over, just a few things about the month in general. Also, I want to do at the beginning of every month, I want to do kind of this thing that I'm going to call Tipsy Future. So if y'all are familiar with Drunk History, you'll kind of know what I mean by this. So it'll be me and a friend, and we'll be kind of going over the upcoming astrology and energies for the month at hand, so the upcoming month. This is a new idea, so we are a little bit slow on this month, so within the next week or so you can expect that video, but it should be super fun. We're going to go ahead and do our research and our meditation before, and then over a little bit of wine we'll go ahead and discuss what we expect to take place energetically and, astrologically and all that good stuff. And then one last thing is that in these end of month videos, these little recap videos, I also want to do like a little music recommendation. I usually make playlists for myself every month, so I'm really super passionate about music, and even more so since I can see it and feel it and like sometimes like taste it and smell it. That's very interesting, but it's a whole experience for me, and I really love it. So I usually tend to make playlists every month. This month I didn't, because it was a really weird and crazy month, and of course I'm sure everybody listening probably feels some version of that. So no music this time around, but next month, hopefully for sure next month. Yeah, and then I'm also going to do another video series coming up. I don't have a name for it yet, but it's going to be kind of just like synesthetic music reviews. And so I'll probably just review all of my favorite stuff and what it looks like and feels like and smells and tastes like to me personally. And kind of just share that with y'all. And then, of course, if you ever want me to review some of your favorite stuff and tell you what I personally see, I can do that too. I think that that's like a super fun thing to do. I think music can say a lot about a person. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on to this video, the video at hand. January recap. A lot of us this month, and I definitely have, a lot of us have been feeling pretty stuck, pretty frustrated, pretty, lost or wounded, or almost like we're being pulled backwards. Like maybe we've gotten over a certain wound, or at least we thought we had, and then we've kind of been pulled back into it. And a lot of release has been happening. I mean, I, for one, lost what I thought was my dream job. I have some friends who've been broken up with, some friends who've lost animals, who have lost people in their lives, and there's this kind of big upheaval and this weirdness, because it's kind of like we can see what's coming, like we can kind of see what is good in the future for us that's coming down the pipe. Is it pipe or pike? I'm gonna say pipe. It's coming down the pipe for us, all right? These beautiful, amazing, cool, great things that we're gonna accomplish, that we want to do, that we're gonna we're gonna experience, but there's a sense of kind of being pulled back or being stuck and not quite being able to like reach it. You can kind of see it, but you can't. It's like, how do I get like there from here? That's kind of what I've been noticing. And then also a lot of just like with the amount of release that's been happening, situations really being forced out of our lives. In my case, being fired, or, you know, death, or if you get broken up with, that's not really your choice as much. And so there's just a lot of things that are kind of being pulled out from under us. Pulled out from under us. At least that's what it feels like. And this really, all this is doing is preparing us for the next thing, the next phase. It's kind of scraping up the little last bits of the past, you know, I don't know, your past 2018, your past 2-year cycle with the nodes in Leo and Aquarius, your past 10 years. I mean, who knows? There's a lot of gunk for a lot of people on a lot of different levels. It just depends. So lots of release going on so that the new things can be brought in. And it sucks because being able to see them but not really have them tangible yet is super frustrating. And yeah, like a great example of this is like, maybe this is not a great example of this, actually. But I just thought it's almost like the sense of all the government workers that were working without pay, and they knew that they would get back pay, but they wasn't, like, they weren't able to pay the bills, right? So they knew it was coming, it just, they needed it, they wanted it, needed it now. So that's kind of this, that was kind of like a microcosm for energetically what a lot of different people are going through. And not to make light of the plight that 800,000 people just went through, that was rough. And hey, that was all in January, right? So money stresses, scarcity stresses, just feelings of instability, not being safe, wounding stuff, family stuff, like all this stuff kind of coming up for us, bubbling up for us, so that we can let it go. And it has been frustrating because I think a lot of us have felt like we've already like swam across this river of crap and sludge, and now here we are again in it. And it's like, oh, we'll just swim across it again, and then you'll get to the other side. There's like a sweet sauna over here, but you have to like swim across this river full of crap first. And all of us are like, okay, sweet, that's great. I've done this a million times. Like, why can't I just go to the beautiful sauna now? You know? But I think we are moving forward. I think we are getting to the next stage. Things are starting to shift. Things are starting to move again. And so just hang tight, you know? I'm trying to hang tight, and we just have to be patient and let things move, because things happen a lot slower in the physical plane than they do where we're dreaming up in the astral plane. So we've all been dreaming really big, and all of those dreams can definitely be reality. It's just a matter of them kind of sinking down into where we are now. And where we are now, if we're weighted down by heavy blockages, then we can't move forward, and we can't have that newer, beautiful life that we want actually come down and embody, because we are holding on to all that clunky stuff. So that's why we've been kind of almost like spun through the wash. It's just been kind of like a washing machine cycle. And I actually talked to one of my old teachers the other day, and she was talking about how it's kind of like a feeling of like when something gets ripped out from under you, like a pet dies or a person dies or somebody breaks up with you or you lose your job. It's kind of like this feeling of falling down the rabbit hole, and eventually you land and everything kind of becomes still. And I think that as January is coming to an end and as February is beginning, we're going to be landing. If we haven't already, it will be soon. If you've landed already, then, well, at least the first few weeks of February are going to be very fast, and we're going to be kind of pushing forward and pushing on our projects and moving things forward. And if you haven't quite landed yet, that's totally cool. The first couple weeks of February for you will probably just be, about trying to land, trying to kind of get your, as my teacher said, sea legs under you, right? We're all kind of little Bambis at this point, I think, having the wind knocked out of us. Now we kind of all have to get up, and we're like, whoa. Oh, that was awesome. I love how the camera did that. Perfect. Anyways, so lots of that, but, where it hurts because it's coming up and it's coming out. And so lots of love, lots of tenderness and kindness to yourself. Oh, yeah, I wanted to touch on that too. I'll do that last. So this last month, I wrote 2 words at the top of my calendar, and those were dedicate and focus. And so in my own personal life, I felt like that's really happened for me. I've dedicated to, I've been doing yoga every day. I've been working out a lot, like actually sweating. This is my nice workout hair. It's why I've got the little wispies going on, little baby hairs. I have dedicated to myself and my business and this, which I suppose is one and the same. But all of that stuff, and just kind of focusing in on what I really want to create. And so those have been very true for me as well. So that's kind of more of the positive side that I got out of January, was the sense of kind of laser focusing us on how we want to move forward. And then, of course, that crazy release. So that kind of brings me to the last little section of this, which I wanted to just recap a little bit of the astrology that went on. So we had that big eclipse on that first Saturday, the 5th, and that was in Capricorn. So it was all about finding that focus, taking charge, and deciding what you want to work for, what you're willing to sacrifice for, and what you're willing to, just kind of burn the midnight oil for and work hard for. What is that for you? And also kind of taking the lead in your life in one way or another. And so this is kind of trying to focus on, where do I want to lead, what do I want to create, and really work for in the next 2-ish years, just under 2 years. And then on the 20th, we had that big eclipse, 20th, 21st, depending on where you were in the world. And that was in Leo, and that was the end of the past 2 years. I have a whole video on that. You can go watch it if you want. But it's essentially, it was kind of closing out the past 2-ish, just under 2 year cycle that was happening when the nodes were in North Node Leo, South Node Aquarius. So kind of reminding us that the past 2 years have been this kind of ping pong between self and community, and how are you going to step up and shine and lead with your unique, maybe eccentric gifts, and how can that help the collective? And so that last little punch at the end of the month on the 20th, 21st, that was kind of what tended to dredge up a lot of that old stuff, because we were kind of closing out that past cycle. So yeah, January has asked me for sure, and probably many of you, to kind of step up, to take your place, and to decide what you want to grow and what you want to work for, and then also challenged you and challenged me to just drop the things that we can't keep if we want to keep moving. So, yeah, like I said, no music reviews, No music, Rex. My speaker just turned off. I hate that I always get surprised when it does that too. I get offended. I'm like, I thought you were supposed to stay on forever, and I lose track of time. I've been talking for like 15 minutes now. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say. Oh yeah, I think the words that I'm going to write on my calendar for February are going to be bravery and love. But love in a sense of like really unconditional tenderness towards everything that you do. Every movement you make, every person you see, every object you touch, just kind of infusing that with love. So that's my intention for February. And then, of course, you'll get those energies and that astrology with my super awesome friend Courtney in about a week or so. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching and dealing with this shaky camera. It's just really comfy on my bed and I didn't want to sit on the floor. So much love. Take care of yourself. Give yourself an amazing hug for making it through what you just made it through. Chances are, actually, no, I know this for sure. Like, you're a goddamn warrior. So, super proud. I'll see you around, everybody. And, yeah, onward and awkward into February.